Hi, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Tonight we're watching Rope. My only knowledge of Alfred Hitchcock movies, I didn't really know that much. Obviously everybody knows the name, but when it comes to movies, I saw Psycho years ago and I fell in love with that movie. That movie was so good. I've seen it so many times, and because I have a bad memory, I can see it again and again and still be surprised by something. But because of that movie, I wanted to watch more Alfred Hitchcock movies, but, I never really got to it. And then when I started watching all the Mel Brooks movies on this channel, somebody suggested High Anxiety, for which you need to have some prior knowledge of Alfred Hitchcock movies. So for that, I started watching Alfred Hitchcock movies and I fell in love with this. I'm saying movies so much, but I fell in love with these movies. The way they're shot, the story, the plot is always so good. And I haven't seen that many, but most of the times it's so simple, like Call M for Murder. Most of it, if not all of it, was, no, not all of it, they do go out, but most of it was, filmed in that one apartment, and it was still so interesting, I don't know, there's just something about his movies that is so different, and so I love that. So I asked you guys if I should watch any on this channel, and Rope, Rear Window, North by Northwest, there were some that were suggested a lot. This one was suggested the most. So I asked that 2 months ago, but here we are, finally. Most of the movies are about murder, so I'm really looking forward to that. And without any delay, let's just get right into it. Is somebody gonna get murdered with a rope? Like a noose? Suicide, but it's not actually suicide. What? Ooh, somebody is getting strangled with a rope. Close. Why'd you guys do that?
Don't.
I would have said you're very good looking if you didn't just kill somebody.
Let's stay this way for a minute.
Looks like this is the first time this person has killed somebody. I don't know about this cigarette guy.
It's the darkness that's got you down. Nobody ever feels really safe in the dark.
Looks like a completely different place now.
Eddie, we couldn't have done it with the curtains open and the bright sunlight. Good. You better put those away. Put them in my checkbook drawer behind that metal box. David Kentley had his last drink. Out of character for David to drink anything as corrupt as whiskey.
Hey, whiskey good.
Good Americans usually die young on the battlefield, don't they? He was the perfect victim for the perfect murder. In less than 8 hours, he'll be resting gently but firmly at the bottom of a lake.
Meanwhile, he's here. I wish we had him out of here. I wish it was somebody else.
Kenneth?
Oh, I don't know.
Why, though?
You, perhaps. You frighten me. You always have.
Yeah, this guy frightens me too.
I'm only kidding, Brandon. I obviously can't take it as well as you, so...
This is an occasion. It calls for champagne.
Champagne?
I've always wished for more artistic talent. And not a single infinitesimal thing has gone wrong. It was perfect.
Yes.
An immaculate murder.
Well, you haven't gotten rid of the body yet, so don't celebrate so soon.
Even champagne isn't equal to us or the occasion.
I'll take it, though.
Nobody commits a murder just for the experiment of committing it.
So they just did it for the sake of doing it.
You just astound me. As always.
That's even better.
Brandon, how did you feel?
When?
When you strangled him. Poor David.
Don't know, really. I felt tremendously exhilarated. The party's the inspired finishing touch to our work. It's more, it's the...
Are you having a party with a dead body in your house?
With these people?
They're a dull crew, all right. The Kentleys couldn't be duller if they tried. After all, they are David's mother and father.
Whoa.
Well, she can switch back to Kenneth tonight.
What?
Philip.
What?
You're gonna put it next to David?
What the devil are you doing?
Just thought it'd be nice to have supper in here.
At least this way no one will try to open it.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
You've got to have some excuse.
Don't want to leave our guest of honor alone during supper. Very simple excuse. Right here.
What is it? Oh, the rope.
Considerate, aren't we? Most considerate.
Why is he so evil? What did David ever do to you, you asshole? I don't like you.
You start on the books
Who
now.
is it?
Mrs. Wilson.
Are you guys not seeing the rope, or is it like decoration?
Brandon.
He's scared.
A stupid display like that in front of somebody else will be just as good as a confession. Being weak is a mistake.
Because it's being human?
Because it's being ordinary.
So I went downtown to that little delicatessen where Mr. Cadell goes.
Oh, they're gonna have a dinner party. I did not have dinner. I'm gonna get hungry.
What, may I ask, is happening to my table?
We're just moving the things in here.
Well, I think it looks downright peculiar.
Ceremonial altar, which you can heap with the foods for our sacrificial feast.
Sacrificial feast. This man.
I have too much to do to discuss this thoroughly, dear. However, I still think it's peculiar.
He just has the rope in his hand.
Belongs in the kitchen drawer.
I think you're taking it too far. I think you're being cocky, and that's gonna get you caught. Oh, see, that's why I love his movies. You see that shot with the swinging door, and you see him putting the rope in there. It's just...
Tonight, Mrs. Wilson, you'll have an opportunity to renew that romance. May I?
Rupert's coming?
Oh, yes, I thought I told you.
Oh, I must say I did enjoy working for Mr.
You
Cadell.
didn't.
Who is Mr. Cadell?
He's the one man who might appreciate this from our angle, the artistic one. That's what's exciting.
He's asking to be caught. He's so cocky.
He could have invented and he could have admired, but he never could have acted. That's where we're superior, Philip. We have courage. Rupert doesn't.
He wants to prove it to, I don't know who, himself, that he's not going to get caught. He's just like rubbing it in their noses, faces, whatever.
I wouldn't see this last minute hustle bustle if he kept my table and let those all...
Now the fun begins. It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
Hello, Kenneth. Good to see you.
Oh, Kenneth, you could have been the body in the...
I always have to start cramming before everybody else. Am I the first?
You are?
It isn't someone's birthday, is it?
Almost the opposite.
The opposite.
Oh, my God.
I'm to be locked up. What?
To make sure he practices 6 hours a day.
Commit a murder before your debut. Ugh.
I feel pretty honored.
Oh, why?
Well, looks like a pretty small farewell party. David going to be here?
Of course. Janet Walker.
Janet.
You know Janet?
Yes, Brandon. Janet and I are all washed up. Well, Janet and David are...
Hello, Mrs. Wilson.
Janet and David are... all right, okay.
Your chances with the young lady are much better than you think.
What do you mean?
He was saying that she might go home with Kenneth by the end of the night. I remember that now.
Be careful of my hair. It took hours. You smell dreamy. I never know when I'm being funny. Whenever I try to be, I lay the bomb of all time. Well, that's sweet.
What would you say to some champagne?
Hello, champagne? You see what I mean about trying to be funny? Oh, isn't that painting new?
Yes, it is.
What is your connection with David? These two boys. Are you all just friends? Friends?
I could really strangle you, Brandon.
What have I done now?
Strangle you.
I'm practically engaged to his best friend.
David?
Yes, David.
It is a little difficult trying to keep up with your romances. After me came Kenneth, now it's David.
Oh, you're an ex too?
He's certainly richer.
That's a new low, even for you, chum.
Rupert Cadell, he was our housemaster.
He tried valiantly to teach David, too.
Rupert's a publisher now, isn't he?
Such bad friends, these two. That's why I don't make friends.
Brandon would sit up till all hours at the master's feet.
Brandon at someone's feet. Who is this Rupert?
I want to see who that person is too.
He thinks murder is a crime for most men, but...
A
privilege for the few.
Mrs. Kentley isn't well, so I took the liberty of bringing my sister-in-law, Mrs. Atwater.
Oh my god, that David's family and they're gonna eat. They're all just bad person. Bad person.
But I'm on a visit, Henry. This is just my second party. Cold's dangerous in this heat. I don't understand that at all.
No, this is all way over my head.
David!
Oh, no,
Anita.
Oh my
Kenneth is
god.
often mistaken for David, even by...
I heard a crack.
You observed the resemblance lately, my boy. You haven't been
Do
studying.
you have any sense of guilt? Are you feeling it? You in the back, Philip?
I believe you both know Miss Walker.
The stars are very kind. They indicate a marriage very soon.
Philip Morgan.
How do you do?
Oh, you've hurt your hand.
Oh, it's nothing, just a little cut. Can I get you some champagne, Mrs. Atwater?
Oh, I should adore some.
Somebody asked me. I should have bought some champagne for this movie. I didn't know.
I expected him
We'll be celebrating David's murder too. Oh.
The trouble with David is he doesn't have to study. He's too bright.
Aww. David sounds nice.
Why don't I call and tell her he's been detained?
No, you mustn't pamper her, Janet.
David might even have stopped off to see her.
What a charming young man, David Sommer.
Yes.
Would you mind taking this into Janet?
Sure.
You want these two to get together? Why do you want to?
Then you'd like David to walk in.
Oh, no, that'd be too much of a shock.
When you walk. I suppose you want to know if your concert will be a success.
Yes, I do.
I hope it isn't. You bad person.
You're a moon child. You're very much influenced by the moon.
How do you even remember all
You
those
don't
things?
remember the hour of your birth by any chance.
No.
Friday, 6:30 a.m. I think.
These hands will bring you great fame.
Didn't he hurt his hand just now? Wasn't he bleeding?
Your collection.
Oh, yes, of course.
You going to play?
Rupert.
Beautiful.
I was...
Rupert Cadell, the housemaster at Somerville.
I used to be. Brandon's spoken of you.
Did he do me justice?
Do you deserve justice?
Oh my god.
It's awfully good to see you again.
Why? Bears a curious resemblance to champagne.
It is.
That's very...
Champagne.
Well, I thought I'd make it sort of a farewell for Philip.
Therefore champagne.
Yes.
You always did stutter when you were excited.
I got that special patty you like.
I don't like it anymore. Oh, no, I'm just teasing.
Oh, Mr. Brandon, I found it.
I haven't
What'd
the
you
least
find?
notion what it was she lost.
I may marry her.
Mrs. Wilson? She has a big crush on you. She's always like this.
Me, I'm hungry.
Brandon,
Me too.
why are we eating off it? Trust you to find a new use for a chest.
She was a bride-to-be, and on her wedding day, she playfully hid herself in the chest.
Yeah.
50 years later, they found her skeleton.
I didn't like the new girl much. Definitely Scorpio.
No, I didn't like her either. But
I'm Scorpio, don't say that. Only thing I know about horoscope is that I'm Scorpio. Don't bash me on that.
Taurus the bull, you know. Very obstinate.
Really?
Capricorn the goat, he leaps to fine. So much.
yes.
There's something of the something. No, that was the other one. This was just plain something.
It was just plain something, I'm sure. I adored it.
I saw Mary Pickford. The something. Or was it just plain something?
Go easy on the patty, dear.
Come on, Janet.
Calories.
Don't be polite.
Oh, shut up.
I really must apologize for David. I can't think what's keeping him.
I never heard of anyone who didn't eat chicken. Did you, Brandon? Oh, you probably did.
Well, as I remember, Philip, you have a very funny reason. Doesn't he, Brandon?
Yes.
Tell us, what is it?
It happened about 3 years ago in Connecticut. In the yard, Philip was doing likewise to the necks of 2 or 3 chickens. One of the subjects for our dinner table suddenly rebelled. Like Lazarus, he rose...
That's a lie! I never strangled a chicken in my life.
Sorry.
He's thinking.
Ridiculous and very rude.
You're gonna get in trouble for being too cocky.
Is it all over?
I'm afraid so, Rupert.
Oh, what a pity. Chicken is as good a reason for murder.
You don't really approve of murder, Rupert, if I may.
You may, and I do.
You may and I do. Oh wait, does he want Rupert to figure out what he did? He did say something about that he would be impressed.
What's it called? You know.
The something with what's her name? Had any difficulty in getting into our Velvet Rope restaurant?
Frightful.
Step over the head waiter's body. Thank you. And here's your table. They are in the death by slow torture category.
Oh. Why are you liking it so much, going? It's like, oh, come on, girl, woman.
What a divine idea. But then we'd all be murdering each other.
Oh, no. Privilege of committing it should be reserved for those
I feel so bad for him.
Inferior beings whose lives are unimportant anyway.
Ah, he learned all of that from this guy, Cadell.
No. Personally, I would prefer to...
And he wants to impress him, I guess?
I really don't appreciate this morbid humor.
Well, the humor was unintentional.
Now, I know you're not serious.
But I am.
The few are those men of such intellectual and cultural superiority that they're above the traditional moral concepts. I'd hang all incompetents and fools anyway. There are far too many in the world.
Then perhaps you should hang me, Brandon, for I confess I'm so stupid I don't know whether you're all serious or not.
Tell them, David's dad.
Where did you put those books you set out for Mr. Kentley? I'd very much like to see them myself, I may.
Mr. Kentley is upset, and rightly so.
I think it's a good collection. The first editions on it.
Yes, I'd like to see them.
You were really pushing your point rather hard. You aren't planning to do away with a few inferiors.
Definitely Scorpio.
Who is she talking about? He's definitely Scorpio. Stop talking about Scorpios like that. Come on.
I used to read quite a bit.
Oh, we all do strange things in our childhood.
Why are they against me? I love to read. I used to read a lot. Nowadays, I don't have time.
Bringing us back together again with sweet music.
Do you care what he thinks?
I know what he thinks. I'm embarrassed at being here with you.
Oh, Janet.
Never thought I could be, did you? You threw me over, John, remember?
What did you do, Kenneth?
Wouldn't friend Brandon love to know that? Well, you and David used to be such good friends, and you're not now. It's my fault. I relaxed with David. Thanks to you.
Oh, no, she doesn't have David anymore.
You called it quits. David took me for a walk. Did you hear that little phrase? I hear myself saying things like that. Oh, where's David?
It's right there.
You are in love with David, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, he sort of implied I'd have a better chance with you again because David would be out of the running.
Wait. He
What's
said...
going on here, anyway?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out once and for all. Just exactly what are you up to, Chum?
I don't think that's precisely what I said,
It's
Kenneth.
what you implied, and I want to know why.
Tell us why.
Wait and see.
I don't have to. He's never this late. He's never late at all. Well, I hope you've enjoyed yourself, Brandon. I haven't.
Janet just has a talent for being bothersome at times.
Oh, shut up, you.
Well, you always plan your party so well, it's odd to have anything go wrong. One for you, one for me, my love.
Mr. C. Both of them must have got up out of the wrong side of the bed. They've been in a state all day.
Oh, he's gonna figure out. But I just don't know if Rupert wants him to figure out or not, because he's really throwing it in his face.
Mr. Brandon was in the maddest rush for me to clean up and get the table set. But when I came back, he and Mr. Phillip were going at it hammer and tongs.
Oh.
Even if I did know, do you think I'd tell?
Well, I hope so.
Not me. Bring them in here and put them back in the chest, which is where they were in the first place.
Now he's gonna know that they had the chest emptied.
Very well.
Like, does Brandon want to prove it to himself that Cadell is so intelligent, but even he would not be able to tell what actually happened? Or does he actually want Cadell to know and then praise him? I just don't know that intention.
Mrs. Wilson, please serve the guests. Don't lecture.
I'm in quite an embarrassing position.
How do you mean?
Well, what's going on, Philip?
Would you mind turning that off?
I'm quite curious.
Did you ask me a question?
Yes, Philip, I asked you a question.
He said, what's going on?
A party? Yes, but a rather peculiar party.
You want to know something? Come out with it, otherwise...
Oh, no, temper. What would you like, Scotch?
No, brandy.
Why do you guys hate whiskey so much?
I said that
I heard you.
This all right? You use this?
Sometimes.
Where's David, Philip?
I don't know. Why don't you ask Brandon?
You're easier to get things out of.
He's too busy maneuvering the other 2 points of the triangle. What, am I so far off the track?
There's nothing going on at all, Rupert.
More than usually allergic to the truth tonight, Philip.
Brandon dreamt that up. For the sake of a very unfunny joke.
No, he didn't. About a year ago, I was up at the farm, you remember?
He just increased the speed of the metronome, didn't he? It's making it more intense.
What'd you lie to me for?
Because I don't like to talk about...
About what?
I can't play with that thing.
It's extremely generous.
My God, the rope. Oh my God, he's so sadistic. Is sadistic the right word for this?
Don't you want Mr. Kentley to have the books? No.
It's the rope.
It's a clumsy way of tying them up, that's all.
Indirectly told him that it's about the rope, not the book. And he knows that he's kind of getting angry about the strangulation thing. Yeah.
He's always been after me to be more punctual.
And well, he might.
Got to have a drink, Brandon. Enough. Take your hand off my arm.
I hope I didn't upset Philip.
You never let me...
There's something upsetting both of you a great deal. Something that,
Excuse me, sir. Do you suppose David could possibly be home?
I don't know, Janet. I hope so.
Ooh, now the chest. It's all clean.
Bentley, wouldn't you say so, Brandon?
I wouldn't know.
David,
She's gonna come back with the books and put them back in the chest.
where could he be?
Don't ask me, I don't know.
He might be in a number of
She
places.
is coming back with the books.
I phoned my place after I spoke with Mrs. Kentley.
He wasn't there?
No.
I was thinking in the beginning that I'm being too smart of noticing that, but the camera is really set on her. We're supposed to notice that.
I suppose so. I know he went to the club this afternoon to play tennis, and I know that he got there.
No, I wish I had been.
I don't suppose you or Brandon were, Philip.
No.
And they're so busy with the conversation, nobody's noticing it. Oh, and these two are acting so suspicious. There is no way that they wouldn't figure out it's David. It's these two who killed David.
Perhaps he might have called to say he'd be late or something.
He didn't.
I'll help you with that, Miss.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Cadet.
There.
Just let the books go for now.
Well, all right.
Right on time.
She began to cry so badly. Oh, Henry, I'm worried.
What?
She wants you to call the police.
The police?
Oh, no. I...
He's looking at their expression. Just fucking open the chest.
I better go home. My wife needs me.
Oh, Mr. Kentley. Your books.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
this guy. I hate this guy. I hate this guy so much. He's so awful. Even more awful to play around with the rope, giving him the books and that rope.
Very glad we had that talk.
So am I. And David will be too.
Forget my hat.
Oh, going with Janet?
Yes.
Shut the fuck up. Just punch that smile off his face.
You will call me the moment you hear from David.
I will. Goodbye.
Thanks once more.
That's not yours.
Oh,
Whose is it? It's David's.
you spoiled it.
David Kentley.
Well, I meant by leaving so early.
Yes, I was. Good night. Good night.
Wait, she's still here. Don't.
Thank you for a lovely evening. Good night, good night. It's been charming. It couldn't have gone more beautifully.
Yes, it could.
He gave the party the very touch I predicted.
Tying up the books that way.
Oh, I thought that was wonderful. Didn't you like it?
No, Brandon.
Yeah, okay, that was his intention, to not have anybody find out, even Rupert, so he can feel more cocky.
I am drunk.
And just as childish as you were before when you called me a liar.
Nothing matters. Except that Mr. Brandon liked the part. At least if I have a hangover, it'll be all mine.
What does that mean?
Otherwise, it might look a little like,
Praying I'd wake up and find we hadn't done it yet. Think we're going to get caught.
Oh, there's not a chance. Well, we're driving up all right.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, I'm off. Enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to write.
Hello, this is Mr. Brandon Shaw. Would you send my car around, please?
Gotta take care of the body. Poor David. He had such a good life.
We'd better draw the curtains.
Now you're getting nervous?
And maybe Mrs. Wilson forgot something. Answer it.
Brandon?
Why don't you answer it? You're obviously much calmer. Is it Rupert?
It's Rupert.
What?
He wants to come up. He says he left a cigarette case here. He wants to come up.
You've got to.
No, he knows that. Shut up.
But, like, why is he coming up? What if they kill him too? I don't trust these guys. Hopefully he went down there and told everybody what he's thinking, so they all come up, because just him alone.
Rupert, come on up. No, but we'll find it in no time.
You're nervous too.
You've got to pull yourself together. Philip,
Just go inside and lie on the bed. Say he's had too much to drink, so
keep your mouth shut.
he's
It'll
resting.
be over in 5 minutes. You'll be out of here in 5 minutes, one way or the other. I'm not going to get caught because of you or anyone else.
Maybe you should not have been so cocky. Why can't I think of any other synonym for that? Synonym for that word.
It's not loaded,
My
is it?
goodness, it is. See, that's what I'm saying. It's not a good idea for Rupert to come up alone.
Hello, Philip.
Hello?
I didn't mean to alarm you before. I suppose a psychoanalyst would say that I didn't really forget it at all. Why should I want to come back?
Yes. Why?
Philip, will you fix Rupert a drink?
Now, let me see.
But they just cleared the table, the entire thing, the chest, so they would know that you put it there.
When you came over, Brandon.
Now he knows that you're lying.
Oh, well, here it is, right where I left it. May I have that drink anyway?
Of course.
You're sure it's all right?
He said you could have it.
Thank you.
Don't mind, Philip.
Philip's just like, just don't bullshit me anymore.
Well, it's
Oh
very
my God, the
pleasant
way
to
he's
see.
just walking, like,
You are driving up to Connecticut tonight, aren't you?
Yes, but we're all packed.
we're just waiting for you to leave.
I'll be off. As soon as I finish my drink. Perhaps even see you off.
Oh, why am I laughing? He can kill him.
It was strange. Like this evening. I was thinking about David. You don't think anything really did happen to him, do you? Must have been broad daylight when it happened.
When,
Bro. No, he won't die. I have faith.
Where is he?
what's your theory?
Mine? I gather she thinks you kidnapped David, or did something to prevent him from coming.
It would be slightly more difficult to pull off now, though, don't you think? How would you get David out of the way?
If I wanted to get rid of David,
Rupert.
I'd invite him for a drink.
No witnesses?
Yes, that's right.
Then what?
Don't say anything about strangling him and putting him in the chest.
David would arrive, I'd walk slowly out of the room into the hall and greet him.
We're gonna see that. Oh, I thought we were gonna
Make
see
some
that.
small talk to put him at his ease. I'd try to make it all very pleasant. So I'd move quietly around behind the chair and hit him on the head with something.
What did you hit him with?
Then where would you put him?
Oh no, they killed him. They did not hit him with anything. Don't.
Well,
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
down the back stairs, and the two of us would put him into the car.
Thank you for not saying it.
You'd be seen.
Have to find some place to hide the body until dark.
Yes, you would.
Mouse, cat and mouse. Mind your own business.
This is his business. Although I don't like him, so
With him in this condition, though, there doesn't seem to be much point in your staying, Rupert.
Oh, you're as romantic as Janet. I don't think for a moment that you kidnapped David. That's a gun, isn't it?
oh my God.
Tease my suspicions more than anything else.
What is that noise? What is that noise? My room is scary sometimes.
I have to take it up in the country. There have been several burglaries, and Mother's a bit on edge.
It's odd the way one can pyramid simple facts into wild fantasies, isn't it?
Once you get out in the open air, I don't think there'll be much traffic, and we ought to make good time.
Those books were tied clumsily.
All right,
No.
easy. I'll take care
No,
of it.
you won't. This is what you wanted, isn't it? Somebody else to know. You made me do it, and I hate you. I hate both of us.
Rupert, you're really brave to be doing this. You're gonna accidentally shoot Brandon?
Stupid, babbling drunk. I'm sorry, Rupert. I didn't want anyone to know this, but he's been becoming an alcoholic, Rupert.
Brandon, will you step over there, please? Brandon, I'm tired. I'm going to look inside that chest.
Are you crazy?
I hope so.
Go ahead and look.
Oh my God.
believe it was true.
Let me explain.
Explain? Do you think you
what?
can explain that?
Yes.
Superior, inferior thing.
Lives of inferior beings are unimportant. Remember, Rupert?
He's like, oh shit, he learned this from me?
I knew you'd understand, because you have to, don't you see? You have to.
And I've tried to clear my way with logic and superior intellect. If nothing else, a man should stand by his words. You've tried to twist them into a cold, logical excuse for your ugly murder.
Exactly.
There must have been something deep inside you from the very start that let you do this thing. Tonight you've made me ashamed of every concept I ever had of superior or inferior beings. By what right do you dare say that there's a superior few to which you belong?
Exactly.
Did you think you were God, Brandon? You've murdered! You've strangled the life out of a fellow human being.
Also made a game out of it, in a way. Made a joke out of it by serving food on that and stuff.
I can guess, and I can help. You're going to die, Brandon, both of you.
How are you gonna get out of there and tell the society, though? Ooh. Yes, somebody call the police. That was so smart. I was thinking, how is he gonna get the police here? They would never let him call or get out. There might be a madman up there. The police is coming. That light that keeps changing color, like green, pink thing, it's just adding so much to the drama. I've been noticing that. It's beautiful. He's playing the piano, he's drinking, just waiting for the police. See what I was saying about keeping it simple? This entire movie, this was just this one apartment. And it's so interesting because it's all about the plot and the story, and it's just wow. You know, it's not about the crazy set designs or car chase scenes or this or that. It's so simple in that way. It's just the story, and it's so good. It's like you're sitting there. It's like his movies, to me, with my limited knowledge, I have not seen that many Alfred Hitchcock movies, but his movies sort of feel like you're sitting at a campfire and someone is, you know, telling you stories. They feel like that to me. Brandon, I really hated Brandon. Really hated Brandon. There was something wrong, like, inside his brain. I know that Philip helped him commit the crime. He wasn't really all that good. Somehow Brandon manipulated him, or maybe a part of him did want to do that. I don't know, but at least he... How do I put it? He was feeling a little guilty, I think, but he did feel he was going, at least he realized that Brandon was going too far with, you know, serving the food on that chest, using the rope to give his dad, David's dad, the book, inviting his parents to the house, to the party. I don't know if it was because he felt bad about the fact that this is a dead person and he's disrespecting him in that way, like the way we felt bad, like this is so morbid, why is he doing that? Maybe he was just telling him not to do all those things solely because he didn't want to get caught, and those were obviously increasing the chances of their suspicion and stuff like that, like more chances of him perhaps getting caught. I don't know, maybe he was solely doing it because of that, but it did look like that he also thought that he was just going a bit too far by doing those things. Brandon was an asshole. Straight up. Like, so sick and twisted. Ugh. I really thought when the party was over, I thought that Mrs. Wilson, that she was still in the apartment, and when they were discussing these things, she might have heard something, but it wasn't like that. It was obviously clear that Rupert knew something's wrong. And in the beginning when he was saying that he would be so impressed, I think he said that, I think Brandon said that this is like, what we've done is so impressive that even Rupert would be like, whoa, you know, something along those lines. Not exactly that, but I feel like he did say something like that. That's why I got confused. And also because Rupert was talking about superior, inferior beings, those things, in that way, that I got confused what his exact plan was. Did he want to get away with it? Like having everybody right there with the dead body and still being able to get away with it? Or did he want Rupert to figure it out and then be like, dude, you're awesome? So I was confused about that intention for like half of the movie until I realized that he wanted to get away with it with Rupert too. But when Rupert found out, he was like, you would understand. And again, I was wondering if Rupert was gonna be like, whoa, why am I saying that? Why am I doing that? I'm so sorry. But you get what I'm saying, right? One thing that I love about his movies are the way that they end. You see this, like here it is. This is what happened. This guy is going to die now. Or this guy is going to go to prison now. You know, this guy is arrested now. And you just know what's going to happen next. And they just end it at that scene. It's like a play. His movies are kind of like that, like you're watching a play. And I love that. You know, it's so much fun. I didn't even realize that we did not leave this apartment throughout the movie. We were just in this one place after the movie ended. That's when I realized that we were in this. Why is it so hard to speak today? I don't know. The rope in the end is what did it. What got them caught. No, I think it was a mixture of a lot of things, but when Rupert saw the hat, I think that's when his theory was confirmed that they actually did do something, that they might have killed David and he's in the chest. I think when he saw the hat, that's what did it for him. That's what confirmed all of his suspicions. But he was really brave to come back on his own, you know, by himself. Of course, he was not 100% sure, maybe like 99% sure, and a part of him did not want it to be true, so he did not get the police and everything. But still, man, so brave. You know these two. In your head, you're thinking that these two have killed a guy, and you still went up there to sort of confront them indirectly. Poor David, man. From what they were saying, sounded like he was living a pretty good life. Poor guy. Only thing that I did not like is that this movie made me really hungry. Other than that, I had a lot of fun and I hope you enjoyed watching this with me. If you did, then please go ahead, like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you soon.